All right, I'm just going to say it. Collecting movies, it's awesome, right? But if you're anything like me, then you've probably asked yourself this at least once. At this point, am I balancing a fine line between hoarding and collecting? And today, I'm going to jump into that uncomfortable but important question. What is it that separates collecting from hoarding when it comes to physical media? And then, maybe more importantly, what are the things that we tell ourselves to justify keeping absolutely everything? Let's be real, collecting physical media is a passion. There's the hunt for the titles. There's the thrill of finding that out-of-print title, Kevin Smith's Dogma, or finding that perfect box set. And that's the Scream Factory Halloween limited edition thing. We're not just buying movies, we're building a personal archive. And most collectors, we're curators. We generally know what we have on our shelves, and we organise our things with pride. We tend to genuinely use our collections, whether that means watching them or just admiring the beautiful packaging. It's lovely, right? But here's the tough part. Hoarding, it can sneak up on collectors, and it doesn't always look like piles of junk. Sometimes it looks like 5 unopened copies of the same movie. Or even 30 titles that you've not touched in years. I know we could have it all. Hoarding, it isn't always about how much you have, it can be about why you're keeping it, and then how it affects your space, your time, and generally your peace of mind. Now there are some things that I say to myself to justify how I collect, and I want you to tell me in the comments if any of these sound familiar. What if it goes out of print? But really, is every movie going to become rare? Even those $5 bargain bin ones? I'll watch it someday. But someday turns into never. And it sits sealed for 3 or more years. But I need it, because it completes the set. Even if you hated the third part, you need it to complete the set, right? I got a good deal on it. It was cheap. Come on. If it was cheap, but you never watch it, is it really a deal? I don't want to regret selling it. The fear of missing out is real, but how often do we actually miss the things that we part with? Now, none of these reasons are inherently bad, but when these reasons start piling up, so do the discs. Some of the things I think it's important to consider, the key differences between being a movie collector and being a movie hoarder. First up, about that shelf space. The movie collector would generally have a thoughtfully displayed selection. The movie hoarder's shelves would be stacked, overflowing and chaotic. Then we're on to that purchase intent. The movie collector is perhaps more selective and picks up titles that are more meaningful. The movie hoarder would be very impulsive and fear-based, perhaps picking up the limited edition title because of that fear of missing out. And of course, who can forget viewing habits? The movie collector watches or revisits things regularly. The movie hoarder would rarely watch things and have loads still sat sealed on their shelves, unwatched. Then, how do we emotionally react to our collections? A movie collector gets a great sense of joy from the collection they've curated and built. And there's a certain amount of pride that a collector gets from curating the perfect collection for them. And that may include having the latest edition on the latest format of some of their favourite films. Yeah, Jason X, one of my favourites. What can I do? The movie hoarder would generally have feelings of anxiety or guilt about either the spending or the space being taken. And when it comes to actually getting rid of some titles, a movie collector can find it relatively easy to just sell or trade things. The movie Hoarder has extreme difficulty letting anything go from their collection.
Batman 89.
And with this, it's not all black and white. You might find yourself falling somewhere in the middle of all this. I know I do. So what am I doing to try and stay on that collector side of the line? Here are some of the habits that I'm trying to adopt to make myself a little bit better and a little less hoardery. First up, set yourself some hard limits on your shelf space. If it doesn't fit, try to rotate something out. Next one, track what you actually watch. A great collection is one that you actually use. Then stop rescuing movies just because. Come on, really? Not everything needs to be saved from the thrift store or charity shop. Actually let yourself sell or donate some of the titles that you're just not going to use. It's not a collecting failure to get rid of some of these things. It's curating. Create yourself a wish list and try to stick to it. Having that list, it helps you buy with intention, not just on impulse. Here's the truth. Collecting is fun. It's meaningful. But sometimes we just hang on to these movies out of fear and not for the love. And if your collection is bringing you stress instead of joy, maybe, just maybe, it's time to let a few things go. Or possibly it's time to watch that movie that you bought over 4 years ago. Damn it, showgirls! Anyway, let me know in the comments what your biggest collecting justification is. And if you've ever decluttered part of your collection, how did it feel? All of these collecting habits and pointers, it's not just for collecting movies. It could be for collecting anything. But my passion for collecting movies, it also overspills away from the physical discs. It can be about picking anything up that's movie related. Just like all the little collectibles that I have, all the figures, all the bits of Lego that I have knocking around the place. The Funko Pops that are hidden in the deepest, darkest corner of my room. And then there's also books. If you enjoyed a TV show, get the book. If you enjoyed a particular movie, I'm sure there's going to be a book on it. Another one here, another one, and another one. And these just keep going and going. And there's also books for your favourite directors. So, you like Kevin Smith? He's got a book. You like Tarantino? He's got a book. And another one. There's a book. There's so many things that you can collect. But I suppose the trick is just being able to make that right decision for what you want to pick up and actually use versus just hoarding for the sake of it.
I found an upside to feeling down when I took a good look around. There's stuff to be learned.
As always, thanks for giving this a watch. Please remember that I've got a bunch of other videos on collecting physical media that you might like to check out.